Yeah, up YouTube. What's up? Yeah, up youpie doo. Yep, whatever. Anyways, how you doing, YouTube? I hope you're doing well. Everybody's out having fun on Sunday. Cool. Here's something to think about. When you got law enforcement that will protect this pedophile transgender movement from the people speaking the truth and using their First Amendment to do so, we got law enforcement that's so fat they can't even walk. You got law enforcement that's so stupid they don't know the laws. They want to enforce feelings over laws. I think we got a problem in this country. See, law enforcement is protecting those in office. Law enforcement is protecting the corruption, the pedophiles, the sex trafficking, and all that. They ain't going after the sex traffickers. They ain't going after the crimes, the true criminals. See, they're politically motivated anymore because they're being told to stand down, and law enforcement goes, okay, do it. Okay, we'll do it. So, yeah. See, law enforcement is supposed to be law enforcement. When you have an old man dancing in front of children, that's a lewd and lascivious act. But they don't enforce that law anymore. What happened to that? During the gay pride, they could have arrested how many people for vulgarity, lewd and lascivious act, and all kinds of stuff in front of children. Indecent exposure. I can name off 1,000,000 crimes that probably were committed there. But yet law enforcement didn't enforce that. So, but yet when you pull up with the camera and you start holding law enforcement accountable, or law enforcement busts into your house at 5 o'clock in the morning and shoots you in your own house, you have no idea what's going on, they're going to charge you for some crime that they make up because they want to cover their ass. See, law enforcement is not doing its job anymore because they're politically controlled now. So, and if law enforcement belongs to that group that wears the ring, you know, with the symbol on it, Freemasons, if they belong to that, if they belong to the police unions tell me that they're actually a part of this gang unit. The police union has never done any good for the citizens. It's only done good for law enforcement. See, the police unions protect bad law enforcement. So, we the citizens now declare the police union not a good organization. We the citizens declare law enforcement in violation of their constitutional oath. You know, they're supposed to be taking an oath. And they violated their own oath. They are not doing the duties that they sworn to do. So that's a crime in itself. See, if we pay you tax dollars to do a crime, but yet you stand in the hallway because you're scared of getting shot when you swore an oath and you swore to do just that and protect children, and you know of sex trafficking going on, but yet you're not enforcing it. You know of human trafficking and you're not doing anything to stop it. You know of gangbangers running around and shooting each other, but yet you're scared to do anything because you're afraid to be called racist, or you're afraid to go stop all these pedophiles because you're afraid of being called homophobe, or you're controlled by the Democratic Party or Liberal Party or even the Republican Party. You're politically controlled as law enforcement, then you're not doing your job. If you're so fat you can't even get out of your freaking car without waddling, you shouldn't be doing your job. If you're so uneducated on law enforcement's actual job, to know the laws and the constitutional rights and the freedom of the people, the liberties of the people, to know the Constitution, period, then yeah, you shouldn't be in law enforcement. I'm telling you what, if you're a big fat jelly roll that weighs 400 pounds, you shouldn't be in law enforcement. Sure in the hell shouldn't be on patrol. See, law enforcement should be held to a military health standards. You gotta run a mile, you gotta do all this, and I've seen one cop, really good cop actually. I thought, everything I've researched on him, he's actually a real good cop. He was actually running way behind the criminal and this other fat jelly roll. He come from way behind, a football field length, and took this criminal down, passed the jelly roll, and kept going and tackled this guy. That's the way law enforcement should be. Good law enforcement. They should be able to run a mile. They should be able to hold their own. And as for women, the ponytail police, I don't think ponytail police need to be out there on patrol, personally. Because what happens when a man tries to take the gun? Beats the crap out of them. And they can't reach for the radio and call for help. They get murdered. They get beat up. Ponytail police, if you can't hang with the boys, you don't need to be out there. So, yeah. See, I want military ex-veterans that know the laws, they know constitutional rights and freedoms, they know what lewd and lascivious acts are by looking at them, they know what freedom of speech is by looking at it, they know the First Amendment, all 5 parts, for sure. They know the laws of this land. So, actuality, yeah, I want law enforcement that does its actual freaking job. I want chiefs of police that aren't corrupt and controlled by the mayor. I want sheriffs that ain't corrupt and controlled by political agendas. I want sheriff officers that'll stand up to Washington, D.C. and say they have a constitutional right to carry their guns, constitutional rights to hold my officers accountable to the laws and constitutional freedom. I want sheriff's deputies that walk up and they understand that somebody using their cell phone or a camera to record them. As long as you stay over there, stay out of the way, I don't care what you do. As long as you don't get in my way, I don't care. And they aren't pulling people over for bogus reasons. Window tint, which is factory. All these other bogus reasons they pull you over. See, I want deputies to understand that we the people have the right to hold them accountable. The same way they have the right to hold us accountable. See, the Miranda rights goes for them too. Anything they say or do can and will be held against them in the court of law too. Everybody says that I'm so anti-cop. I'm not actually. I actually would love to know that my police officers in these local areas are doing their job and doing their job right, and they're not getting paid off by politicians or the chief of police, or ain't getting told by the chief of police to let that one slide because it's a fellow Blue Line cop, a Blue Line gang member. I want to know that my sheriff department, my state patrol, and everybody in the local areas is doing a good job. That's what I really want. My constitutional rights and my freedom not to be violated. So far in this area, White Deer, Texas area, I've never had a problem with cops, constables, whatever. Carrying my gun laying on the seat of the truck, all kinds of stuff, and they just, all right, cool. Just don't reach for it. Okay, no problem. I'm not going to. I don't have a plan to, because the gun I carry would be slow compared to the one you carry. But I would want all law enforcement across this country to take a stand against Washington, D.C. and not enforce any laws that violate constitutional rights and freedom. That's what I would really want. So, this idea of cops being so fat, that's what bugs me the most, is these cops are so dang fat, they can't even move. And you see them trying to reach out, hold on to the car and trying to reach out and get out of the car. Big old freaking jelly rolls, man. Telling you, man, there's some big boys. I can understand if you're a singer named Jelly Roll and you're just a big guy, because you don't have to be out there doing physical things, technically. But if you're law enforcement, EMT, fireman, whatever, and you're big as a hog, fat as a hog, or if you're a woman that's as fat as a hog and you can't even move, or I don't think you should be a police officer. I really don't. See, I think law enforcement should know exactly how to enforce the laws and how to do the evidence collecting and do everything right, because if they don't do it right, somebody is going to pay for their life, which they have many times. Somebody's going to pay with a beating, unjust, unconstitutional beating. Their property is going to be stolen from them unjustly. They're going to be following political winds and just going with the wind. So that old saying, you better stand for something or you're going to fall for anything, basically. Law enforcement, you better stand. Either stand with us or stand against us. Don't follow the political winds. But God bless. Be safe. Have a happy Sunday. This is a happy Sunday. Be safe, y'all.